Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Danette James and this is The Power of Eight. Today we're going to be talking to two girls about being a young mom. Obviously we're all a little bit older now, but we were all young moms at one point. So we're going to get into this. Thank you guys for coming. One of these ladies is a good friend I met through one of my daughters, and the other one is my cousin who, ironically, have the same birthday, and we almost have the same amount of kids. So, go ahead and introduce yourself, Sandra.
Hello, my name is Sandra. My last name is Skinner. I am a mother of 5. I am 44. Wish I could say I'm 24, but I'm 44. My kids' ages range from 21, 22, 18, 19, and my youngest is 9.
Okay, Regina.
I'm Regina, and I am 43, and I have 5 children, and very similar to Danette, 4 girls, and my last baby, which he's not a baby anymore, but a boy, and the ages range 22 to my son, 11.
Yep. Okay, so tell me something fun about yourself or something that someone doesn't know or something you would want anyone to know.
Something fun about myself. Love to be creative. I love to be crafty. I admire what you're doing in regards to reaching out to women. I personally do the same thing, but behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I created my own page that try to help mothers and people that I know on a different personal level. So that's something.
She does have an awesome Facebook page and a lot of kids, just like me.
Fun is, I'm very easygoing, silly, take things lightly. I think that's probably, if I could.
Yeah. I don't know what's fun about me. I actually love going to therapy. That's my biggest fun thing in my life right now, I guess. We're going to talk about us being moms, young moms when we were younger. I was 16 when I had my first child. So I think this is important to hear from different aspects of life. So let's get into this. All right. What do you guys think the advantage was of being a young mom?
Oh, definitely. I had my first child at age 22, and the biggest thing that's different now is social media. When we had our children, we couldn't post any questions or post our baby, create baby albums and all that this generation now uses constantly, like a second mom to them. So I think that's the biggest one.
So like for research and things like that?
Research,
Connecting with other
just
moms.
connecting with other moms and people and friends. I think that's a great advantage and wish that I had that.
Yeah.
Just because I was a young mom without a mom or any family. So if I had that, yeah, a lot of things.
Great.
Yes.
Regina?
I was 21, and I would say that probably at that time, being a young mom and having her at that time, we tend to be less serious about things. I was a little bit older, so I knew kind of how to just roll with it a little easier and just kind of just meet other moms that were maybe a little younger or maybe my age and just have fun. At 21, I find that was fun.
Right.
It wasn't so stressful, and you're an adult, so you're kind of at that adult, but you're still young, you're still current enough where other moms that were younger were kind of in that age range were unsure about things. I think 21 and a little bit mid to the mid-20s, you think you have it figured out, you don't, but it's fun.
Right.
Like, it was fun at 21. It wasn't as stressful.
And I think the other misconception we have when we do have children is we always have this oh, you get the baby and it's a baby doll, and then you have the child, and no, it's not a game anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And see, younger, that's where younger moms think. They think like that. They come in thinking they're gonna like it's Toys R Us, or they're going and they're getting their baby with a stroller and having fun with it. But then as you get into the 20s, you kind of maybe a little bit more sense about it, and kind of know you're gonna get into the mid-20s, mid-30s, and you're like, okay, this is really real life. This I have to keep this baby. I can't take it back to the toy store. You know, it's mine.
Exactly.
So maybe that.
Exactly.
I don't, being super young, having a kid, I think sometimes those shows like 16 and Pregnant and those other ones, I don't like sometimes of what they portray in that way that, oh, this is fun, I can maybe go on TV, because that's not reality. Reality is you have to take care of this kid, and there's late nights and things like that. So sometimes those shows rub me the wrong way. I think the biggest advantage was, you know, I'm close with definitely my oldest, all of my kids, but the oldest is that we kind of grew up together. And it was, you know, good and bad, but that's one of the advantages. And I had much more energy back then than I do now. So when I'm like playing with grandkids or we watch a grandchild, I'm much more tired now than I was in my 20s.
And having your first child in your 20s, you're not necessarily at home with mom and dad. Where younger, you're with family or grandparents, or you're with, where it's kind of, you don't get that option to really raise them and have that opportunity to where when you're a little older, you kind of have to take on more of that, you know, take on that responsibility. I don't know if that was, but I just feel you kind of had more of that control over taking care of it versus younger mom, dad want to kind of step in and take that role. And like you said, with the conception of the younger shows where they portray that.
You know, one thing though that's a flip side of that. When I had Kaden 9 years ago, now I'm dealing with moms that are so much younger than me. So like Kaden is like, Mom, how are you? I'm like, I'm 44, gonna be 45. My friends, Mom, are 20. I'm like, wow, okay.
And
So
you remember being that young
right.
mom and hearing about the older moms.
Exactly.
And we were that mom at one time where we were younger, going and into first grade or second grade. You'd see those moms that were in their mid-30s or something.
Exactly. So it's.
I think we have like a benefit of, you know, us being in our 40s and, you know, having kids young. So now, like, you know, I think the other moms, like my daughter-in-law, you know, look up to me because, you know, we learned, you know, we went and did the same thing. So I think that, you know, being in my 40s now is great because I can show other moms, you know, what I went through and how to get through it.
But we still stay in the mainstream. We still stay current. We still stay relevant. We can understand as a older point of view, older mom point of view. God, I shouldn't have said older. I need to find a better word.
Like more mature mom,
wiser,
or,
maybe at times wiser. Versus a younger mom where
Agreed.
you can kind of still stay relevant with them and not feel like that mom walking up there with your cane because they're in their mid 20s or 30s. You know, you can still just stay relevant. They're just like, wow, I want to be when I'm there at that age. I want that, and that's kind of some way that I look at it.
What do you see, or what do you think that people think of, you know, us? You know, I'm 42. I have a 26-year-old. So the biggest misconception of young moms, or what you experience as a young mom, versus, you know, when you see, like you said, a mom that's in their 40s and just starting to have kids. So I think that, like, not all young moms are crazy. Like, I think that people can look at us like that, which I know you've experienced. I've experienced, you know, I was 25, 30 and had 5, 6 kids, and people would think, oh my gosh, she's crazy. No, I chose this.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
So, like, I think that's a huge misconception of, like, and people will say, well, don't you know what creates that? Yep, like this was planned. So I think that's a big one. I also think, obviously 16 is much younger than 20 having a baby, but I think that a lot of people think, oh my gosh, if you have a child young, what about your future? And I totally have a future. I'm 40 years old, and you can start over at any age. So I think that was a big thing growing up, that you know, they think, oh my gosh, you're gonna ruin your life. And I don't find that to be true.
And support. I know for you and I, family support is huge, especially when you are young and then you start having baby after baby after baby, and not only is it your spouse that you have that support, but you have your family support, and then I know with being around other friends, and I know for her and I, we would go out, people were convinced we made this look easy.
Yeah.
I can remember her and I just being in, the double stroller, and one standing on the back, and two in the front, and we'd be in the nursing in the nursing room, and we would come out. And I think that's probably a misconception, is moms who only have two and they don't get to that third child. It's that home
fourth child, yeah.
fourth child. They're like, oh my God, I can't do it. And then they see her and I, we go out and we're exhausted. We haven't had sleep. We probably hadn't washed our hair in days. Little things, little do they know, we probably have Cheerios or stuff somewhere in our bag or whatever. But
Just for the record, I did always try to make myself presentable when we went out.
We really, and we did, when we would go, that was like our time, no matter who was strapped on us or who was with us.
Yeah.
And I just remember being out and sitting there and having kids. It was like our little mini daycare.
There was
Talking
11
to
kids.
people, they just thought that, I think they thought we made it look easy. Not that they were sold on wanting to have that many, but I think we made it look
I agree.
easy, and we went with it. And it sometimes it was fun, sometimes it was stressful, but it was never what
That's
the
awesome.
moms of two could see. That wasn't the perception I think they got from you and I.
Yeah. What do you think?
I had it totally different
Yeah,
than
you
you two
did.
ladies.
Yeah.
You guys are blessed beyond belief in regards to having each other and the fact that you have family. I, on the other hand, I left my home at 19 to never return. I'm here to tell you that even though you don't have family or you had a child and you're on your own, I'm proof that your life can be so positive. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions for somebody like me was, oh my gosh, you're raising this child on your own with no help, and this child's going to become nothing. Or, oh my gosh, you're going to always end up being on welfare and taking food stamps. I raised my first one to acknowledge, yes, I was a single mom. Yes, I did have government help. Yes. But I needed it. Just because you see a young mom, don't label them as a failure.
Right.
Don't label them as weak. And definitely never put boundaries on who their children will grow up to be.
Yeah.
Because I have a 22-year-old who is graduating top of her class in forensic science, criminal justice. And then she's getting interviewed with FBI's, and she's doing awesome. And then I have another one that's in college, and another one moved out.
Yeah.
So the misconceptions needs to be thrown out, just
Completely gone.
completely gone, and get to know the person, I think. Because
Right.
everybody walks in different footsteps, and I think it's just the type of shoes that we need to put on every day to figure out what type of
Yeah.
footprints we leave behind.
Yeah, totally agree. I think, the government assistance, there's plenty of people that have needed it. And, sometimes you need it for a period of time, and then, you figure out life and you make it. And the majority of us do. And that is a big misconception that anybody that's on welfare or that's on, government or whatever, that's how they're going to be. And that's not, the majority of the time, not the case.
Exactly right.
And
exactly
we do
right.
come out on, the other side.
One last thing, I'm sorry, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask or add is the other misconception. Like I said, I had a first marriage with 4 children. Bad marriage. But I was verbally abused and other issues were going on. But one of the biggest misconceptions is, oh my gosh, you're a mother of 4, no one's gonna love you, da da da, yada yada. But I have a fairy tale story that I found my prince, and I'm living a happy, never after life.
Yeah.
So it is possible. God did create somebody for everybody, but I think my trials and my pain and my confusion and all the darkness, those were lessons to make me realize that my husband, who I adore, I don't think I could have adored as much if I didn't go through all
Yeah,
that.
agree. I think, like, as young moms, not us, but like as a current young mom who's really struggling, can't see, what's ahead.
Right.
And you and I have talked about this, you and I probably have too, like, we've all been through a divorce, and there appears to be no light at the end of the tunnel. But for everyone, no matter what your struggle is, there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And it may take some time to get there. It may take a month, it may take years, but it will come to an end and your life will be better. And even though it seems like it is a long process, because it is, it does get better and it always gets better. So we're going to talk about struggles and victories. We kind of talked about struggles a little bit from us being young moms. I think my biggest ones were I like to sleep. So when I have a 16-year-old and I'm still in high school and they need to eat and all that, late nights were a struggle, especially when you have to be to school at 6:30 in the morning. Even a mom in my 30s who still loved to sleep, late nights were hard, I feel like. And I did nap a lot, way more when I had kids young than I do now, for sure. So that's one of the struggles. Being single and being a young mom was hard. Again, I was fortunate to, have family, but it's always great to have another hand and have someone to drive a kid to practice or whatever it may be. So, I think it can be hard. Sometimes even if you're married and you have a spouse, you could be a single mom. So, doing it on your own, no matter what your situation, can be really hard. And money's always hard, whether you have one kid or you have 6 or you have 10. It's money. You always got to find money from somewhere. So that's some of my struggles. What about you guys?
With having so many back to back, was remembering or feeling that I wasn't equally giving the amount of time that I could give to each of them. Finding that balance. My children's father at the time worked a lot. He would work away. He'd be commuting so many days a week. On the weekends, I only had that weekend time with him, but he also wanted that time for himself as well. So I remember feeling, trying to find the balance to be mom with my children and then wife to him, and forgetting that time for me. And then you're frustrated, you're tired. So, and you don't want to at that time, you don't want to lean on your family. You want to take it all in. You think you want to handle it. And then sometimes it just kind of, I'd say balance, finding the balance, finding the time, not feeling guilty. And ultimately at the end of the day, when I look at it now and I see that my kids are older, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter about the equal amount of time that I would spend with them. It's the quality over the quantity. And I really feel with them, like they see it now. We could all be together, and it could just be we're watching a movie, or we go to the park, or whatever it is we do. And now I don't get all 5 at the same time. I may only get 3 at a time, or I may only get 2 at a time. So all the times and all the years before, I felt bad about not being enough, not being 5 moms at one time. I remember thinking, how was I going to be able to disperse that time? Now I look at it now that I am older, it worked out. I'm finding that time, equal time with them in its own way. I still have maybe 2 or 3 with me, but I'm still finding that time, and they're appreciating it. And it's the little things. I mean, they're older, they want to go do their thing, but I'm definitely seeing that it's becoming, it's a little better because I'm happy. I'm happier. I'm not struggling to try to find that balance. So I'm seeing that now. It's more relaxed, and they're appreciating it.
What do you think there was struggles?
Mine was just being a young mom without any clue at all. I'm not just talking about, we're going to be waking up. I'm talking about...
Had you been around kids before you had kids? Okay, so
No.
my daughter-in-law's like that.
I had no clue, and I think that was my biggest struggle, was I have this... Looking back, I didn't even realize it. I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was like,
How did I have to change a diaper?
No. Well, yeah, I did, because, I had the Cabbage Patch doll, and I did all that. But in reality, no. I learned it all through the nurse at the doctor, hospital. No, it was learning as I went, and then I realized it clicked one time. It was when my children were teenagers. I'm like, wait a minute. Here I am beating myself because I don't know, and I don't have help, and I'm learning. But my children... We're all in this learning process.
We are
together,
right? They are our manual. There's no manual, and we figure it out as we go. Each mom.
So I know you didn't have family But did you have anybody who guided you at all? You know, did you have like a friend or, you know, a coworker or anything?
I had people I could rely on if I needed a place to stay. But no.
So like you didn't have like anyone that could say, okay, well, you know, the baby's not sleeping at night, maybe this is wrong, or
No.
any of that?
No.
Okay.
No. Claudia was colicky, and I was thinking
had no
she
idea.
didn't know. I was like, oh my God, I was going crazy myself. Yeah.
And back then we didn't have like internet and
Yeah, we
any
didn't
of
have the
that stuff.
internet,
Yeah.
so that's like that. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was my biggest one is the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I could go back in time, heck yeah, I would do a whole bunch of stuff differently.
I think that's all moms. I think, you know, that's definitely all of us. I think all of us have guilt, which we shouldn't have. And I've said this before, that if you have mom guilt, then you're doing it right. And I do believe that. I think if you don't feel guilty for something, then you're not human.
Well, I like hearing that.
Yeah.
Even with the new moms that have the accessibility to be able to go on websites and Google things and
Research
all
on
the
social
new
media.
current things that they have out there. Like you said, they still struggle.
Mm-hmm.
They still feel like, what am I doing wrong? What's, you
Well,
know,
I think in this day and age, it's way easier as a mom to feel guilty at any age, because if you go on these Pinterest moms and moms that appear to have it all together, I think moms that are normal could feel guilty because you're not like that mom.
Right.
I think that's probably a real big struggle of any mom that is, you know, much younger than us and having kids, because you want to try to keep up with everybody else, and sometimes that's just hard, and sometimes just not possible.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. So victories. As a young mom, I wanted to get my kids graduated from high school and not make the same mistakes or steps that I did. So as each child has graduated high school and gone off to work or college or whatever they do, that's a huge victory for me. I'm not like a crier, so when each kid graduates preschool, elementary school, high school, I am like in the crowd having a party. I'm not crying. I'm like, thank you God, another one made it. So those are like my biggest victories, is them making it and, you know, going forward in life, and, you know, I raised them to be great kids. So that's my biggest victories, I
I
think.
love that.
I
love
would agree with that.
My biggest victory, I knew they were gonna graduate high school. I knew that. I wanted them all to have that perfect, you know, go to college, have that perfect job. Some of them chose that, some of them didn't, but they're all still successful. They're all wonderful in school. But my biggest victory is having my oldest children look at me and say, thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
And reflecting the past to everything that I never thought that they paid attention to,
Yeah.
and telling me thank you, and I admire everything that you've done.
Yeah.
That's the biggest victory.
Yeah, I
for me.
definitely get that from, especially my oldest two, even my middle two. And I worry that the younger two don't see it, but my oldest daughter's like, Mom, they know. They know that you're the one who literally does everything.
They're grown,
Yeah.
and for them to reflect that I did it.
Or they may not, but you see it in their actions for them to keep reaching, see whatever it was maybe that I had went through, or the things that I
Yes.
did. And not necessarily steer completely away from that path, because there are good qualities and there are good things and attributes that we have that we want our girls to have, to take with them as they get older. But I definitely agree 100% with
Just victories. Yeah.
having, I agree.
I think the second victory in our reality is that our children aren't living in our footsteps.
Right.
Yes,
That's
totally
what
agree. Yeah.
That I do, that they keep reaching and they keep,
Yep.
Yeah, and they want to, you know, do, not say better, but, you know, they want to do different than us. All right, so we're going to wrap this episode up. We're at the end of each episode, we're going to do #blessed and just give a little brief summary of what we feel like we're blessed about. Mine is my kids. They are all pretty great kids. They're all healthy, and that's a huge deal for me, because I think there's a lot of families out there that their kids aren't healthy. So I've been really blessed in that.
It's great blessings. I'm blessed because of my husband. He's the biggest blessing to me, and I'm blessed that I have healthy children, and I'm blessed that God entrusted me to have 5 children.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I agree with both of you. I'm blessed that my children, they are healthy, for the most part happy, and they keep me happy, and yeah.
All right, so we're gonna close this out. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would ask everyone to go follow me on Instagram. It's thepowerof.8 under Danette James. Thank you for watching this episode of The Power of 8 with Danette James. Please like the episode, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell for notification. Thanks and have a great day.